My wife and I had an ongoing discussion following watching the 12 O'Clock Boys. In particular, the notion that when did dirt bikes become part of urban African-American culture? When did riding dirt bikes become a thing? I reflect on the Rough Riders, which would have been 2000 through to maybe 2003, and they were based out of Philadelphia. The 12 O'Clock Boys follows he's 10 at the start and he's 12 at the end. So, early adolescent, is that what one calls that age period? In any case, a fellow by the name of Pug, as he joins, it's not really clear actually through the documentary whether he becomes a member or not, but certainly he idolizes this group of dirt bike riders in Baltimore. And the film covers a few emotional turning points. I don't necessarily want to give too many spoilers, but it's interesting, actually, the nature of death and theft. These seem to be the two things that are constants through this film. The perspective of poverty, but at the same point, through this dirt bike thing, none of it is drug dealing. Like, none of it is grand-scale theft. I mean, they might steal the dirt bikes. That's not really explored in the documentary. But you just get a sense of the hopeless spirals of urban poverty. It's really a compelling film in some regard because you know, in the first few minutes, you get a really strong sense that the producers of this documentary are idolizing or at least doing cinematic effects to show the awe that the local kids have with these dirt bike riders as they ride their bikes through the city. The funniest vignette in this thing is when a group of 10 to 12-year-old girls congregate and thoroughly critique Pug. And I think that was by far the funniest part of this film, because these girls are clearly very bright and very aware. And this, I think, represents the real hope. In fact, the women folk in this film are far more together and direct and present than the men folk. And it's quite curious to see this, you know, the kind of absentee males just giving really bad advice. And then the women folk that have to survive and deal with a whole lot of practical stuff. So it was an interesting documentary. It's not too long. Worth watching, I think. It gives a certain stylization to what ultimately is incredibly annoying. If you've ever been around dirt bikes being ridden irresponsibly, I mean, particularly when you're driving around them in groups and this kind of stuff, it's not particularly pleasant, but the way the film characterizes them as heroes in a community, I'm sympathetic to that. It's part of the style, it's part of the form, it's trying to give some insight associated with this kid Pug's view on the matter. And it's very well filmed. You get a sense that this is a mixed production. You get a sense that there are people that are filming that are African American, but a lot of the questions, a lot of the voices that you hear through it are clearly white American questions. You know, it's very strange the way race is tackled in this film in a somewhat implicit fashion. So, the 12 O'Clock Boys, I'd recommend it. Worth watching, maybe on a sleepy Sunday, something like that.